its orientation by adjusting the speed of each the propeller independently causing the differential thrust and torque with respect to each propellers. So we have several types of multicopters, as we have seen yesterday. We have, and it will be depends on the number of motors and maybe the way we distribute the rotors in the frames. And sometimes for the multicopter we use also the ducted fans. So the ducted fan is something like this one. For example, we have this one. Okay, we have the propeller inside is a tube. So with this kind of ducted fan, we can focus the air in order to be able to lift. But I mean the disadvantage is we have the power, so it will not good for the aerodynamic efficiency. So this is this one choice for the multicopters, but I think they don't really use for small propeller. But I mean maybe you have already seen some multi-rotors of the U.S. Army. They use the ducted fan in order to, for example, at the beginning, this one is very big, and at the beginning it take off like this one vertically, and then they will rotate this one in order to regulate thrust, and this one they use the ducted fan, not the focus, in order to focus the lift, the thrust to make the problem. So the main advantage of the multicopter is we have the ability to take off and land vertically, and we have the ability to hover at one position in the air. However, we need the complex. It requires the capacity of the electrical system, because we need to control the speed of each rotors in order to get the desired purpose. So you can see the simplicity of the mechanical structure leads to the high cost of the complex electronic system and total cost of the multicopters, because the multicopters requires flight control to stabilize aircraft and calculate the appropriate motor speed according to control inputs. So this is the configuration of multicopters. We use 4, 6, or 8 rotors, and we can see what is Quasion configuration. Okay, let's see this one. Okay, so yesterday we have talked about the X and the H configuration, right? Mm-hmm. So you see, we have another choice. We have the brass configuration as well. So in this configuration, you see the head of the head of the propeller will be between the two arms. But in this situation, the head will be along in one axis, maybe one of each as you want. And for the edge configuration, so the head will be between this. So this axis will split the four rotor into two parts. You can see here, this is the left and the right. And for the hexacoupler, we have this one configuration, the X. So the X in the head is between the two arms, and the eye is the head. The head is along with the arms. See, and this is the tricopter. No, this is hexacopter, but we have two propellers aligned in one axis, and they regulate the lift down, and but they rotate not the same not in the same rotations. You see, one counterclockwise and one clockwise. See, and with this type of hexacopter, we have two configurations. We have the Y and we have the IY. You see, in this one, the head is between the two arms, and this one, the head is lies on the arms. And of course, hexacopter, we have to also this one. This one is like this one. It's I told you that I have never seen, but it exists. It's similar to the quadcopter, but at each end of the arm we have the two rotors like in the hexacopter, and they rotate in different direction, but we get the same direction of the lift down. Okay, and we have another solution for the configuration. So we have the copter, we have the Gaussian copter, tricopter, and the variable pitch copter. So let's see the tricopter. So we have seen this thing, right? So the tricopter, we use these two rotor for the lift, and this one it can change the angle to make the yacht direction. And this one is very special one. We have the Gaussian bicopter. So this one we use only two rotor, and they align in the same with respect to the same axis, and they rotate not in the same direction on the particle line and in the top square directions. For this one, so this is the subtype of bicopter, and it uses just two propellers which can be independently tied forward, this one, to provide pitch and yaw and control. However, this configuration tends to be unstable in the pitch axis as it relies on the bending effect for stability. So this one is not really more useful for our configuration. So this is the Gaussian bicopter. So you can see that they use two motors. So when we want to design a multicopter, so we need to take care about some factors. So we need to take care about the number of propellers, determine the performance of the multicopter. We have to take care about the layout of the propellers. So mean the size and the angle, the blade, in order to regulate the lift. And the space for another sensor or another devices. So we have to take care of this kind of thing. So this is the comparison between the airframes of multicopter. So you will see the bicopter. So the complexity is very high, and it has no redundancy. And for the payload, it cannot carry too much, and the cost is low. You can see for the tricopter also. So the complexity is medium. It has non-redundancy. The payload is low, and the cost is low. And now we are going to see the quadcopter. So the complexity is low because we have just the frame and the 4 rotors, so it's very simple. And we have no redundancy because we have 4 rotors, but we have 6 degrees of freedom. So the payload also it's medium, and the cost is medium. So for the hexacopter, as you see, so the complexity is a little bit more complicated than the quadcopter, and the redundancy is low because we have exactly 6 propellers, and we have 6 degrees of freedom. But because we have more rotors, so we can carry more weight, and the cost is a little bit higher. For the octocopter, so the complexity will be high because it has 8 arms and 8 rotors, and it has high redundancy because it has 8 inputs from 8 rotors, but for 6 degrees of freedom, so it has more redundancy. And even in the case we have some failures at more rotors, we still have the ability to land the octocopter. But the cost is very high because we have 8 rotors, we have 8 arms, and even we need some special flight control. So, I mean, in this table, I don't put the flight time because generally the flight time for the multicopter is just about 15 to 30 minutes, and it depends also on the weight of the battery. So if we put the big battery with so we can stay in a long time in the air, but it will affect to the aerodynamic and the maneuver of the propeller because the height of the battery is very high. So now we will see how the quadcopter makes the forward. So this we have seen that. You can see here. This is the whole condition. You see the whole. So this is the roll axis, and this is the pitch VR. So in this situation, when the quadcopter want to forward in the air, so its 4 rotor need to rotate at the same speed, and the sum of these 4 forces will equal to the mg, the mass. So this so the quadcopter will be stable at one point in the air. Okay, and so you can see the thrust of the propeller does not produce rotating torque on the aircraft because all the propellers are equally spaced from the center of gravity, and the torque generated by these two will be with the subtraction, the torque will be generated by these two. So there is no yaw rotation in this situation. Okay. For the roll control, so you can see the roll control in this one. So this is the roll assist, and this is the pitch assist. So in this situation, you can see we have 2 sides. We split this 4 rotor into two parts in the left and in the right. And when we want to make the rotation like this one, so we have to decrease the speed of these 2 left motors and make this the speed of these 2 higher than this one. So the lift generated by these 2 will be higher than these 2. And for this one moment will be one roll moment will be created with respect to the roll axis. So the drones will make like this one, and it will move along the pitch axis. And when we want to make the inverse, so just make the thrust in the left side bigger than the thrust in the right side. Okay? And for the pitch, so so we have the same principle for the pitch. We have the same principles for the pitch. So this one, the four rotors will be split into two parts, the front and the rear. And when we want to make the rotation with respect to the pitch axis, we will decrease this to the rear and decrease this two, and speed, and we will increase this to speed of the front. So the these four forces will elevate the pitch moment in order to rotate the drones into the rear, and it move like this one. And in the opposite position, we will create the lift in this in front smaller and in rear higher. So the pitch moment will be like this one. Okay, and this is the principle of the roll and pitch control. So for your yaw control, you can see this one here. So we want to rotate the drones with respect to the yaw axis. So we will make the speed of this diagonal rotors bigger than this diagonal. So it will move as well. And in the opposite position, we will make increase the speed of these two and decrease the speed of these two. So it will rotate in the opposite direction. Okay, due to the moments that they have created. Okay, so now we are going to see something about the helicopters. So the helicopters overcome the main disadvantage of the airplanes because they have the ability to hover and take up and land vertically. They do this by using a large rotor, which is basically a set of rotor wing. So for the helicopters, maybe we will have some kind of this one. We have some combination of wings, and maybe 2 or 3. And the wings can change the pitch using the mechanism known as the corrective and cyclic pitch control. So when you want to change the pitch, you have to unit some kind of mechanism in order to change this one. And this one is really complicated, not easy. So compared to the fixed wing, so the helicopter has the ability to hover and to take off and land vertically, but the mechanism in order to change the pitch to make the pitch control is very complicated. So it will not be a good choice for our application for individual. It is not good. So you can see here, since the rotating the main rotor creates a torque on the vehicle, the small tail rotor is required to exert this torque. At the time, rotor can vary thrust either by varying its speed or blade pitch to control where the helicopters point to. And this mechanism is complicated. So nowadays they are using fly barless in order to find some disadvantage of the helicopter. So, however, it's still complicated. So compared to the multicopters. So the disadvantage is just the mechanical structure is very complex. So the helicopter is more expensive, hard to set up and maintain, and costly to fix after a crash or to build it. So now we are going to see, how to choose. How to choose between the multi-rotor and fixed wing. So for the endurance, of the fixed wing will have a plus point, because the range or the endurance of the fixed wing runs several times more than multi-rotors. So the main reason is the fixed wing get on their lift from their wings, and the motor is just for the thrust. However, in multi-rotors, it needs a lot of power just to generate the thrust in order to maintain the drone in the air. So, for the endurance, the fixed wing is the best choice, not the multi-rotors. For the takeoff and landing area, so of course we have the best choice multi-rotor, because the multi-rotor can take up and landing vertically, and it can take up and land in a very small space. So we don't need another equipment for takeoff and landing. And for the fixed wing, we need the runway, we need the catapults for takeoff and land, and this one is minus for the fixed wing ones. So for the takeoff area, the best choice is multi-rotor. For the speed, of course, so the fixed wing will have a high speed. And this wing is used for surviving work, but sometimes their high speed will affect to our purpose. For example, when we want to capture the picture on the ground, so when it moves very fast. So the synchronization between the coordinate of the point that we take the picture and the wind, the wind position will be some kind of difference. So it will be some difference between the point where we took the picture and the information that the controller will send. So it will not good. So for multi-rotors, so it can fly at any speed and can be able to forward position. So for example, for capturing data, so the multi-rotor will have a plus, but for the speed, so you can see the fixed wing. For speed, just fixed wing. For the maneuverability, of course, we have multi-rotors, because the multi-rotors has the ability to do a landing vertically. It can hover, it can stay in one point, and it can even rotate in one point. So it's very maneuverable. So for the maneuverability, we will choose multi-rotors. For the payload, so for the payload, of course, we will choose the fixed wing, because the fixed wing can carry more payload, because as we have seen that the power is just for the thrust, not for the lift. So the payload, of course, we choose the fixed wing. For the size, here I put the multi-rotors, but it depends, because so you can see the fixed wing aircraft for surveying tend to be large. Often the central port used to house the batteries, and the motors and cameras can be about the same size. as a small to medium multi-rotor. So, but the fixed wing also very light, mean we are dealing with big aircraft. So the advantage with many is that the wings will detect for the transportation and storage. Even quite small quadcopter can be used for surveying work. So, I mean, this part it's not very clear, but sometimes we can choose multi-rotor and sometimes we can choose fixed wing, depends on our application, because the size is not really clear in this part, but we can choose multi-rotors. So for the price we can choose multi-rotors because fixed wing is more expensive than the multi-rotors. For example, so for the same company, they offer the multi-rotors with only 8,000 euros, but for the fixed wing at the same size, so maybe 12,000. So for the price, maybe we could choose the multi-rotors. Okay, so we will see the advantage. These advantages of each airframe compared to each other. So you can see the airplane. So the hover. So we don't have the hover and what's called pick up and landing. But the cost is low. The flight difficulty is low. So you can see this one. I don't want to read this. You can see it.
On the previous slide was different.
You mean the price? Yeah, of course, this is only the frame, not the whole system. Yeah, frame cost. This one is including everything, not just the frame. And this is only the frame. Okay. Frame price and the everything attached to the frames and so on. Okay, I will check it again, please. Okay, so now we are going to see the propulsion systems. So for the propulsion system, we have two types of propulsion system. First, we have the electric propulsion system, and we have the fuel propulsion system. So, for example, for this one, we have the electrical system because we will use battery in order to supply everything inside the hot water. So both systems can be used to derive propellers or electric fans, and each system has its own advantages and disadvantages, and is best suited for specific UV application. So we have to choose between these two in order to suit our purpose. We will see the difference between these two systems. So the electric propulsion system. The electric propulsion system use the energy in order to store use battery in order to store energy, and use electric motors to drive the propellers or other propulsion devices. And the electric systems are easier to operate and produce less noise than gas system. So you can see if we use the gas, the fuel with the rotor, so it will be very noisy. Okay, so for the electrical system, so the thrust can be controlled more precisely because, as we have seen yesterday, we can control the speed of the propeller with the PWM, right? And we can control it in very short time, maybe 10 minus 10 power minus 6 or 10 power minus 7. So the controller can so we can control very precisely the thrust of the UV. And also the electric systems are more reliable, minimizing the possibility of rust due to the motor shutdown or failure, because if you have the gas, so when it rusts, it can be explode. So for the electrical system, we don't have to be afraid of the explorer. However, the main drawback of the electric system is the flight time. So you can see that the batteries can hold less energy per weight compared to the fuel. And first, electric system provides significantly less flight time. So if we want to choose the flight time, we will not use the electric propulsion system. So the different propulsion system, we have gas propulsion system store energy in the form of fuel. So we have the tank and we put the fuel gas inside that tank and control the propeller. So we have several types of engine exist for the UV. So we have the two-stroke internal combustion engine and we have four-stroke internal combustion engines. Are you familiar with this one? You want to see a video in order to explain this one? I think this will be better to you. Okay.
Есть даже с реактивным двигателем,
Мы никто там на камеру не положим.
Here it means that it will use two phase. One phase in order to get the fuel, and one phase to burn the fuel and to push that. So we can understand that the two-stroke engine is some kind of we have
I understand.
so you understand the principle of this one. So simply so for this engine we have 2 cycles, and for this one we have 4 cycles in order to get the gas to presses and adjust it and to push it, so and burn it and so let's see the
Around jet engines used.
jet engine.
Jet.
Jet engine
Jet like
for the
airplanes.
craft
Yes.
for UVs. So I don't know, I'm not sure that yeah, so this one is very high speed.
Yes, and I think military
Yes, only
drones
military.
I think they all are jet.
No, I'm not sure for jet, because for this kind of UV, it has very high storm speed. So it cannot apply in some application like agriculture or something else. It's very hard, because the storm speed is the minimum speed that the aircraft can stay in the air, but with this is kind of too fast.
Yes, that's for military applications or for something when you need speed jet.
Yes, so definitely,
And I think it's used. There are prototypes, not even prototypes. All global focus.
yes.
I guess should be mentioned in the presentation.
Okay. So the robotic control system is more difficult to set up, use, and maintain than the electric system, because it has complicated structure. It's noisier, less reliable, and cannot be controlled as precisely as electrical system. However, the advantage is it can provide a longer flight time, because it can produce more energy, and it can be quickly refueled, because let's put the gas inside the tank. That's finished. For this type of battery, maybe it will take half an hour or an hour to recharge. So for these reasons, fluence power systems are often used in airplanes and helicopters, UAVs that require long flight times. So just for the long flight times UAV. So this one, okay, this one is the same. So now we are going to see the components of the propulsion system. This is the components of the electrical propulsion system. So you can see here we have the battery. Right? We have 4 motors, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have the ESC in order to control the speed of the motors, and we have propellers. Propellers is attached to the motors. So you can see here the power will supply for all the ESC, and the ESC will get the control signal from the microcontroller, and the ESC will control the speed of the motors. And this one is the same. This one is the same. And this one they have the this one is the distribution brought power. So the power from the battery will distribute to this board, and from this board we will distribute for ESC and everything. For this one we don't have this distribution board. So this is the first one of how to control the motor. So we have the battery to the AC. So then we have the three wires for the control signal. One for the power, one for the ground, and one for the signal. This is the PWM in order to control the speed of the motor. And now we are going to see more detail about the brushless electric motor. So yesterday we have seen that it has two types. It has the out runner and in runner, right? Okay, so I will give this one because yesterday we have seen it. Okay, so let's see the advantage of the brushless motor, and we will see how to control them with the bridge that I have shown you yesterday. So the advantage of the brushless motor is it has better heat dissipation, and therefore it can be built more compactly. However, it has the disadvantage that the brushless motor needs relatively complicated control system. It means that it has to change the DC current to 3-phase and to change the phase very fast in order to rotate the strap of the motor, and you will see how it works. And this is the advantage of the brushed motor, so you will not see. Okay, this is a picture of the brushed motor. So this is how we choose the AC or DC. So the AC is most commonly used in household outlet. So some hobbyist electronics use it. So most relevantly role model are IC, but but the contrast batteries and most electronic sensors are and other model operate on DC or direct current. So if we want to use DC, maybe we need to do some special device in order to change from the DC to AC. We cannot have one DC AC generator inside the rooms. So you see that if we want to use AC for the brushless DC, brushless motor, we need the AC in order to change from the DC to AC. So if we want to use the AC for the rotor, it will be more complicated for the controller. So we need the AC. Okay, so this is the something about the lithium battery. So I think I did not talk because yesterday we have seen. Okay, I will skip some. So this is the battery and about the cells. Okay, but I mean this point we have to take care. So there are some main things to take care when we use the lithium battery. So do not exceed the maximum current. It means that if you exceed the maximum current, the battery will be damaged. And do not drain the battery below its minimum voltage. So, for example, the drain voltage is about 3 volts. So don't use it under 3 volts. You can, in some circumstances, you cannot recharge again. So the battery will be dead. And do not change the battery above the maximum voltage, because when you do this kind of thing, the battery will be damaged and maybe it will be explode. And in the slide you have some safety procedure in order to use battery, and this one I will not talk, and you can look into the slides. Okay, the propellers. So the propellers is the device in order to generate the thrust of the UV. The propellers spin a set of blades around an axis to generate a stream of air, which is in turn thrust the propeller and aircraft forward. So when we want to choose to design the aircraft, we need to think about the which size of the thrust of the propellers we want, because it depends on the thrust it will be generated, and it depends also on the speed of the motors. So we have to think about which diameter of the propellers we want to choose, and even the geometry of the propellers, because sometimes we have the three blades propellers, not two, there are three, or sometimes four, but usually they use two. And usually there is some pusher inside this one in order to fix it, but there's some pusher inside here in order to fix with the shaft, but we don't have it here, so it will be. And there is one thing you have to make the attention, that for the rotors, it is usually to use the same color for the diagonal propellers, because it will rotate at the same direction. I don't know if this one. Okay, this one is right, but I don't know why the color is direction. Okay, but usually they will use this pair is the same color. This pair is the same color. Okay, this is inductive fan. I have to talk to you. So the inductive fan is, they have also, they are like they are similar to the motor with the propellers, but they have the cover. They have to cover in order to concentrate the lift behind this one. But when we do this one, it will be a little bit complicated for the aerodynamic model. So the ducted fan units in UV are usually for small diameters than propellers units and operate at much higher rotation speeds. The result is that ducted fan units usually reaches less thrust than propellers and are heavier and are less efficient, but they allow for significantly higher cruise speed. And the electric motors are usually used to drive ducted fan units. So this is the ESC. ESC we have seen yesterday. So I will skip this one. Okay. And you see program, we have seen yesterday that we did some special program in order to control the speed. This program will be programmed for the microcontroller inside the ESC. So this is where how we choose the SC. The SC should be chosen that will handle the maximum ampere maximum current drawn by the motor and the propeller it will drive. So we have to see what is the maximum current for the rotor, and we choose the appropriate ASC. So and the SC accept class refresh rate should be chosen, and then inexpensive AC have this capability. The fast refresh, it means that it is the time that it will get the maximum speed. So we have to take care of this one if we really need to do that. And the SC width firmware that is optimized for multicopters is a good option to get maximum stability. However, the process of setting requires the right tools and firmware. So For example, we want to use this kind of ESC, we need to configure something in the site control. Okay, this is the single motor electric system. So you can see here, this is our lithium battery motor, this AC, and this one, it will use one kind of receiver. So we don't take directly the signal from the controller, but we will do something like this one. This is our control station, right, or our joystick, and it will remotely control the AC. So this one, it will send some signal to the receiver, and the receiver will send signal to the AC. So this signal is exactly the PWM, and when we press some button or some things inside the joystick, the speed will be decreased or increased depends on the signal that we send to the receiver, and the receiver will send to the AC. Okay. So we can say that the main components in an electric propulsion system are the battery, the brushless motor, and the speed controller. And without these three components, we can apply the growth drive. I think even without this one, we can apply also. So this is what I have just explained to you. The battery is connected to the speed controller, which is connected to the motor and receiver. The receiver receives the control signal from the transmitter in the ground and sends the signal to the speed controller, which varies the speed of the motor. So this is what I have to just explain. And for the AC, we have three wires. Is ground, voltage, and signal. So ground is 0 volt, voltage is maybe 3.3 or 5 volt, and signal is exactly the ohms with revolution. I have to explain this way. And this is the full scheme of the true motor. So you can see here. Now we don't use the receiver, also we use the flight controller. So example this one, the flight controller will control the ESC 2, 1 and 2, and if we connect the 3 or 4, it will control all on the ESC, and each ESC will control its own motors. So the multi-rotors configurations like multi-couplers require more than one electric motors. The setup is similar to the single motor system, except that the power distribution is used to connect multiple speed controller to one battery. So in our case here, we don't have the distribution bus, so we need to manually connect them together and to connect them to the AC. So it will be some kind of, it's not really good, but we can do that. And in the case of multi-coupler UVs, the speed controller are connected to a flight controller rod which controls the motor speed based on user input and stability algorithm. So the stability algorithm is some kind of the controller I have shown you yesterday and this morning of the video. So they will use some algorithm, for example PID or non-linear controller, in order to get the information from X, Y, Z, and the desired state X, Y, Z, X dot, Y dot, Z dot, and even the angular and angular rate, in order to calculate the right output F1 to F4 and apply it to the rotor in order to get the X, Y, Z, and C position for the rotor. So, and this algorithm is influence some algorithm. For example, PID they will use the linearized modem, but in some other controllers, for example, MPC modem predictive control, or so LPV linear parameter array, so they can use some kind of linear non-linear modem in order to control. So the non-linear modem will be more complicated, but will be more precisely, because we don't have to linear sine and cosine to the very small angle. So this is the engine propulsion system. You can see we have the fuel tank, we have the gas inside, we have the gas motor, and we have and we need one servo motor in order to control the amount of gas will be burned for the rotor. So this servo motor will rotate in order to open the horn for the gas. So for this servo motor we need the battery in order to control it, and we need the receiver in order to control remotely, just to control the servo, and the servo will control the amount of energy of gas will be burned. So this is the principle of the engine propulsion system. So the main components of an internal combustion engine propulsion system for UAV are the engine, the fuel tank, and the throttle servo. Throttle servo is the servo motor in order to control the amount of gas will be burned. One or more fuel tanks can be connected to the engine to provide fuel. So in this picture, you see that we have only one tank, but in some circumstances you can add maybe two fuel tanks to have more power and to have get more flight time. The servo controls the throttle lever of the engine and receives the control signal from the receiver. Since the receiver is not connected to any speed control, so to provide power, so the battery must be connected to the receiver power. But I mean, for controlling this servo motor, we just need a very small battery. We don't need the big battery in order to control it. Okay, so can we have a break? 10 minutes.
Yes.
Now is about 12. Okay, we will provide a 12. Is it okay for you? Do I run fast?
No. No,
Алло, да. Bună. Da, sigur. Da, domnule, da. Nu, acolo nu era persoană control. Acolo e la patru probleme. Eu vinerea asta o să închid toate doctorul. Nu vă ca și de probleme. Bun? Nu. Asta e altceva. Bun? Da, sigur, tot în regulă. Deci, acolo, asta e problema. Acolo e care împreună cu domnul Igor, pare că acolo trebuie de socoteță și de fapt și trebuie eu o ce m-am spus. Dar pe aparte la domnul Igor, atunci a vorbit cu dumneavoastră, dacă e dat și la care împreună, acolo, deci eu trebuie să scot media. Și n-am mai fost la Academie din cauza asta să domnul, așa că eu sunt la niște posturi, acum la Universitatea de Stat. Eu vineri o să fiu și rezolv tot. Bine? Plăcere. Nu e nicio problemă, la ștere. Ne instrucțiți aici să plecați.
Eu oricum aici nu avem cheie ca să încuiem.
Da, da, voi stăm aici, da.
Da.
Deci eu nici nu reușesc să...
Da.
Ok.
Dar până prânzul veniți, da?
Da.
Da.
Acum ce vin noi? Eu n-am fost atât.
Am înțeles că până la ora 1 continuăm și
Da.
o să fie o meditație,
Pauză.
dar pentru masă. Sau așa și n-am înțeles, îi duci la muzei sau nu, cei care...
Asta, care e situația după masă?
După masă avem lecție.
Nu, în sens că o să facem practic sau ce?
Nu, am numit lecție. Da, mi-a spus că ne duci lecție.
Vreau să reușească să ne fie.
Eu de lecția toată ziua astăzi, mâine, așa am înțeles că după amiază...
Mai aproape de plecare.
Da.
Cred că facem...
Că nu sunt dispozitiv.
Da, am înțeles că numai cu cel la 1.
Și de ce eu nu spus când...
Ceea ce
Dar
eu are în
Tatiana
box,
nu a transmis.
eu am întrebat pe Slava, Slava a spus că ei au scris la firmă și aștept răspunsul.
Durează, da.
Și acum la noi cursul terminat și o să agrupă.
Dar cred că și nu o să fie nimic. De ce? Că aceste detalii, aceste piese nu cumpărăm. Noi nu avem în Moldova. Sau ei fac la comandă. Ceea ce el a prezentat în box, el a prezentat în box, uitați-vă la
Da,
box cu toate, cu tot ce este. Și nu trebuie să facem subură singur, dar deja...
Asamblare, numai asamblare.
Dar așa eu înțeleg, și copilul cu poate stau în...
Eu vă zic, ieri eram la magazinul ăsta Barbicol și eram, pur și simplu, în altă secție, că trebuia ceva să cumpăr. Și să aude așa un pic. Dar am văzut că noi ieșit așa cu doi pici cam de vreo 9 ani și așa tare. Dar drone aveți? Și doamna zice, da, dar nu prea am înțeles preț. Sau cu 1600 sau ceva de genul. Văd că ies ele așa o cutie mare. Deci nu se vede după cutie. Fericit. Și așa la altă cam măcar o bucățică să duc. Și zic, da, tăticul, a făcut cadou.
Cred că se dezvoltă foarte bine ce se face.
Da.
E foarte, te bucuri de aceste qualități, dar prinde este, peste vreo 3 ani te duci la medic și asta e un robot și dar măcar, că se zice cum...
Asta depinde
Introducem
de noi.
diagnoza,
Asta
da?
foarte mult depinde de noi. Pentru că eu am început totuși dependența asta...
Depinde, dar spre asta merge, că...
Dar știți, pe partea, dacă la medic, poate aparatul cel mai bine o să ne... și nu
Păi
se
asta.
ceară bani.
Dar vezi, dacă pe asta și se face miza, dar e că nu știm ce noi...
Da. Pentru că dacă...
Mergi pe calea cea mai simplă, dar nu cea mai bună.
Da, că unii, omul intrat acolo e...
De așa și se întâmplă acum cu acolo cu sunt eu așa să te iar mai eu și că am lăsat și că ce le spune
And you are using so maybe yeah, yeah. And it has for longer. Okay. So it has a mechanism you have to control over here?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
You can see there is a gentle joint here.
Yeah.
You have to access the terminal.
Okay. And the air that when it landed to the push backward.
So it doesn't consume power of the servers for anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Just
This one time for water and then have for water.
yes.
Yeah. Is this deep, no?
Yes.
You?
Oh. And the next slide,
Is that one? Okay. But I see, I mean, this one is not,
it has some different
it has some big, some islands. Okay. Okay, so we are going back to motors. So for the ruleless motor, DC motor, we, this is the type of synchronous motors. So synchronous motor means that the speed of the rotor and the speed of the magnetic field are same. And the magnetic field regulated by the stator, and the rotor rotate at the same frequency, and there is no slip. And there are several types of the ruleless DC. It's in a single phase, two phase, and three phase configuration. But we will not go in detail this one. We will see the principle of how to control it. So you can see this is the structure of ruleless DC. We have the stator. This is stator is and the rotor, the strap and the rotor will be with it. So this is the servo type. We have you can see here we have two north and 2 south. We have 3 north and 3 south. And this is the core with the rectangular magnets inserted into the rotor core. This is the rotation part. So let's see what the whole effect. So the whole effect is the effect that, for example, when okay, so for example, the whole effect is, for example, we have the plate and we put the power to for example, plus and minus. So we will have the current between this plate, right? And now we are going to put one magnet inside it, above this one. So this magnet will create the magnetic field, and it will divide the plus and minus into two fields. And when you measure the voltage between these two, you will have some very small, but we have some very maybe milli or micro voltage. And based on this one, we can measure the position of the shaft of the motor in order to control it precisely. We will see it shortly. So the whole effect sensors need 3 sensors in order to determine the position of the rotor. So when the rotor pole pass a whole effect sensor, it will get a high or slow or low signal, indicating that the north or south pole. So this signal is like a PWM, but it will be square. It means that 50% of the PWM. So you can see here we have this one is the Bundes rotor, and this one is the whole sensor in order to measure the position of the shaft with respect to the 360 degrees of circle. So on each sequence it has one building positive and one building negative and one building non-energized. So you can see we have 3 this one. And this is the top speed characteristic, and this is the this is some comparison between the Brutus motor and Brust DC motor. So you can see here the commutation. The commutation, it means that when it change the way. For example, we have two coils, and first we will supply this coil, and now we change to supply this coil. So this phrase, when we change to supply from this one to this one, it means it commutation. So for the VMDC, so the electronics commutation based on the home position sensor. So based on the position of this shaft, it will change to supply the coil. However, in the Brust DC motor, it will commutate based on the Brust. And for the maintenance, so for BLC, less required due to absence of rust. So the rust will be touched to the circle in order to get the energy coming out. So the rust will be affected by time. So maybe in after some period of time we have to change the rust. But for the BLC we don't have the rust, so we don't need to change the rust. For the life, so the BLC we have a longer life compared to the rust, we have a shorter life. this for the speed. So I don't want to read on this one, so you can see on the slide. Okay. So it has a lot of thing to compare between them. Okay, so now we are going to see how to control it. Right? So you can see here. So we have three in the whole sensors. We have three output A, B, and C, and this is the way they control this is the signal we have from the A, from 0 to 360 degrees. It means one circle. And this is the signal from where we got from B, and this is the signal we got from C. So you can see the so we have each phase. So you can see here we split 360 degrees to 6 phases, from 0 to 60, from 60 to 120, and from 20 to 180, and etc. And in each phase, the commutation will change to the new coil in order to control the speed and the direction of the shaft as well as motor. So this is the principle. You see the way we supply. First, the power will go from A to C, and now from A to B. And at the next cycle, from the C to B, you can see here A to B, right? So and now A to C, from first A to C and A to B, and now from C to B, C to A, and the last is the B to A and B to C. With these 6 cycles, the shaft will rotate in the whole one circle, 360 degrees. So this is exactly what I have shown you yesterday about the edge bridge in order to control the rotor. So now we are going to see detail, because yesterday we have four locks, right, in order to control the DC, but for the BLDC we have 6 locks, not 4. Okay, so let's see like this one. Okay. So we will have 6 signals, PWM from 0 to PWM 5, and this is the some electronic devices in order to control this one. This 6 PWM to this 6 locks. You can see it's locked from Q1 to Q6, Q0 to Q5. So first of all, you can see again here. This one is A to C and A to B. Okay, you can see. So first of all, A to C. So this is the power. So A to C, it means that A connected to the lock 1, and C is connected to the lock. Here is lock 4, right? So the current will follow from the power through the lock 1 and go through A and go through C and go to lock 4 and go to the ground. You see? And in this situation, only lock 1 and lock 4 is open, and the other 4 lock will be closed. So this is one circle, right? So first from A to C, and now from A to B. So at the next 60-degree cycle. So from A to B, so the Q1 is still open, and the B is connected to Q2. So Q1 and Q2 will be open in the second circle, and the other Q0, Q4, Q3, and Q5 will be closed. So the current will go from the source through Q1 and go through A and B and go back through Q2 and to the right. You can see this is the same principle to control the motor, but now we have six locks in order to change the change phase. Okay, and this is the sequence from 1 to 6. You can see here. So now you can see here for the first phase we have the coil A and coil C. From coil A, DC A plus, and here DC minus. So it will flow, the current will flow from A to C. And in the second stage, it will follow from A to B, right? And from at the third circle, it will follow from DC C from the coil C to coil B. And this sequence will repeatedly in order to work as a strap, right? And this is just for one. You can see here the counterclockwise. And if we want to rotate in this is the clockwise, and if we want to rotate in counterclockwise, we will have the same scheme. But the way we supply for the coil is not the same as the previous. It will be inverse. You can see here in this one. In this one, you can see from A to C, right? Okay, so now, from in this situation, we mean from C to B, right? And then from A to B. So the order of supplying power for the two coils at one time will be changed in order to change the direction of the motor. Okay. Okay, so I want to finish this slide here. Okay, and I want to show you. We are going to see again. So at the last video, we have seen the 2D, right? So we have the step is x dimension. So we have x, y, and c. X dot, y dot, and c dot, and now we have the full 3D x, y, z, and x, y, z roll pitch up, and the derivative of x, y, z, and roll pitch up. Okay, and now let's see how he can build the controller for the problem.
We have to turn our attention to the three-dimensional model with dynamics, and we'll talk about trajectory planning and control. We will recall that we attach a body fixed frame to the quad rotor, and then we have an inertial frame. The state of the quad rotor consists of position and orientation. The position means
So you see the state will be composed by the position and orientation, which means at the angle. The position is the x, y, z, and this is the orientation with the angle, right? So the state will be the q and q dot. So we have the 12-dimensional vector of the state.
the position vector of the center of mass, and the roll pitch and roll angles tell you what the orientation is. The state, of course, is composed of configuration, a six-dimensional vector, and its rate of change, in other words, the velocity. The roll pitch and roll angles follow our usual convention. First, the rolling down the z-axis, and then the rolling pitch, as we saw before. Recall that the angular rates in the body frame, PQ and R, are related to the derivatives of the roll pitch and roll angles.
So you can see here, as I have told you, that we have the rotation matrix. It will change from the initial frame to the body fixed frame. PQR is the derivative of angle in the body fixed frame with respect to the order. And this is the inertial curve.
Through this coefficient matrix. This set of equations tell you everything you need to know about the kinematics of the fluid. What we'd like to do is to track arbitrarily specified trajectories in 3 dimensions. We assume we're given a trajectory, but this trajectory now consists of a position vector that varies as a function of time, and the yaw angle, which varies as a function of time as well.
So you remember the solution in MATLAB I have shown you? So this is the trajectory I have shown you is like this one. So we have x, y, and z, and c. So it will follow that course that I have defined. Right? So now the controller has to calculate the first F1 to F2 in order to follow exactly this trajectory. It means that it will correct the x, y, and z of the proposal will follow exactly this four function of x, y, z, and c.
We want this 4-dimensional vector to be differentiable, and we want to be able to obtain not only its derivative, but also its second derivative.
And here you see that this RT is our desired trajectory, right? But we also want to have the desired position, desired speed and acceleration. It means that, for example, I just suppose I have these 2 points. These 2 points will be x, y, z, x1, y1, z1, and c1, x2, y2, and z2, and c2. But I also want that at this point the speed is 0, and at this point the speed is 5 meters per second, and the acceleration of here is in this point it's 0, and the acceleration with respect to x is, for example, 2 meters per second square. Right? So we need to have also this one. This one is the trajectory desired. This is the derivative of the trajectory, and this is the second time derivative of the trajectory. So it means that we need even the velocity and the acceleration at each point of this one.
As before, we'll be interested in the difference between the desired position and the actual position. But now, we're also interested in the difference between the desired yaw angle and the actual yaw angle.
So you can see that we have two parameters need to be considered. This is the desired. It means that it will follow this trajectory, right? And this is the current value. So, for example, at this time, the current position will be here, not here, right? So it can calculate. This is the error. This is the error, and the controller has to maintain the error in order to the error will tend to 0. When the error tends to 0, so we will have perfectly match of the trajectory. At each time we have to calculate the current position and the desired position, and we get the error.
That gives us the error vector.
So you can see the error vector here,
And again,
and even the error of the derivative.
go exponentially
You see?
to 0. This will allow us to calculate the commanded acceleration, whether it be the second derivative of the position vector or the second derivative of the yaw angle.
So with this algorithm, they use the PD, as you can see, KP and KD, so they use the PD controller. So with this algorithm, they can be sure that the error will tend to 0. So their work now is to find the R2.C command. This will be very important in order to reach the proposed that the R desired is equal to R. So the error will be 0.
Let's go back and look at the equations of motion. And the nested feedback loop we discussed earlier for the 2-dimensional coordinate model. As in the planar case, we have nested feedback loops.
So for the quad contour, we will have two loops that control the inner loop, and the outer loop. The outer loop is the position control, and the inner loop is the amplitude control. You can see here, the position control is in X, Y, Z, and the amplitude is the C.
In the interview, we'll specify the orientation either through a rotation matrix or a series of low pitch lines. We'll feed back the actual attitude and the angular velocity.
So you can see here, I mean, this is our motor, right? This is our core motor, and this is our quad motor, right? So at every time we can measure these parameters. We have the roll, pitch, rock, and we have its derivative. So this value will feed back to the controller in order to calculate the desired command in order to make the AO tends to 0. Okay?
For the roll, pitch, and yaw angles and the angular rates. And from that, we want to calculate the input U sub 2. U sub 2 is a function of the full thrust and the moments that we get from the motor speeds.
So here you have U2 is the vector. It's vector. It composed by three components. This one is the moment with respect to roll, pitch, and this is the and this is U2. So U2 is the three-dimensional vector.
In the equations of motion at the bottom, we have to calculate what U sub 2 is based on the desired attitude.
So decide on this one, this attitude, we can calculate the U2. So we will be based on these parameters and the feedback in order to calculate the command U2.
We now turn our attention to the outer loop, which is a position feedback loop. In this position feedback loop, we look at the specified position vector and the specified yaw angle. We look at the actual position and the actual velocity. And from that, we calculate U1.
So we will feedback the R and R dot in order to calculate U1.
Rather than looking at the general trajectory following problem, let's focus our attention to a very specific case, the case of hovering. So in hovering, the position and orientation are fixed. In other words, all velocities are 0. Further, the roll and pitch angles are equal to 0. We want to look at small perturbations around the hover position. Accordingly, we will linearize the dynamics around this current configuration. In order for the hover position to be one of equilibrium, the input U2 has to be 0. The rates P, Q, and R are equal to 0, and their derivatives are equal to 0.
So here, I mean, for simplicity, they just they just control in the hovering condition. So in the hovering condition, so the roll will stabilize this one, and the roll and pitch are almost 0, right? So because there is no roll pitch moment, and the yaw angle is will be some angle with respect to the z-axis. And in this situation, you can see that the roll and pitch angle are very small, so we can approximately the sinus and cosinus of phi and theta. So sin of phi will be equal to approximately will be equal to this one. For example, phi is equal to very small, so we have sinus phi equal to phi, right? And cosinus phi equal to 1. So we don't have this non-linear parameter anymore.
Likewise, the sum of the truss has to compensate the weight, but the yaw angle can be non-zero.
And in this situation, you can see that the run stay in at one point. So it means that the weight and the thrust are equally right. So it means that F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus F4 is equal to mg.
Linearizing around this point means that we assume that U1 is almost equal to mg. We assume that lower pitch angles are close to zero, and we assume that the yaw angle is fixed, or close to fixed, at a given value psi zero. If you linearize the equations, you end up with these simplified equations at the bottom for x double dot and y double dot. This allows us to design the inner feedback loop by simply specifying u sub 2 using a proportional plus derivative controller.
So now we have all the from KP and KD. And in this situation, you have to choose the KP and KD also, because this is the time series of the PD controller. And if you choose, you have to choose is in the precisely in order to get the fast response. If you choose not right, so maybe the system will not be stable. The system stable, it means this one, for example. So we consider this kind of graph, and this, for example, this one is the set point. And this is the response of the system. So we want to make the system as fast as stable as possible. So the system has to reach this point. It means that from this point, it is, we can consider that it's stable, right? And in this, from this one to this one, from this to this point, it has some oscillation, right? And but we can do some. For example, this one is it will this is KP1 and KD1. But if we can choose another KP and KD, for example, like this one. You can see. So this is with the case KP2 and KD2. So this response of the system will be better because the time that the system reach the stable version is less, right? And it has no overshoot. So it means that the system not oscillate like this one, and the system reach to our stable equation, right? So you have to choose the right this coefficient KP and KD. And you can see here for each parameter, for rho, for pitch, and for yacht, you have its own KP and KD. It means that here we have 3 KPs and 3 KD for each rho, pitch, and yacht parameters.
Feedback are the actual rho, pitch, and yaw angles, and their components. Let's turn our attention to the outer feedback loop. If you look at the position equations of motion and you linearize them, Using these linearized equations of motion, we now turn our attention to the error equation that describes the error in position. Recall that we want this error to satisfy a second-order differential equation. In this equation, there's a set of terms that have to do with the desired trajectory and a set of terms with the actual trajectory that's being followed. From this equation, we want to calculate the commanded acceleration.
So you can see here, this is the desired, the desired velocity, and this is the actual velocity. So we will take the error for this one, and now we need to calculate this one in order to get the zero. So this algorithm will make sure that our current operation will reach to the desired position.
The commanded acceleration will then tell us what thrust we want to apply with the rotors. The only thing that's left now is to determine the commanded zone pitch and yaw. We do that using the linearized equations. If I know what the commanded acceleration needs to be in the x and y direction, I can calculate the roll and pitch angles and their derivatives. And similarly, I can determine the commanded yaw angles.
So for, we will go back a little bit in order to understand this formula. Okay. So they will linearize this equation in order to get this the final equation. So they will have the command theta command and c command in order to put to the attribute. Okay. So this is the principle. Of course, I mean you will see just 10 minutes is just to have in mind something, but when we're going to design this one is not easy task. Right? Okay. So the simulation that I have shown you at the beginning for the property, it makes the blustering technique it exactly this one, but with yeah, exactly this one. Okay, so that is for this morning. So we will be back at 1:30. Okay?
Что? Нет,
Да.
Все.
Скажи. Я забыла.
Нет, сначала я должен пойти, как это, а потом.
So we will continue with this lecture.
Yes, with lectures.